It got really bad with my parents to the point that my dad said, I want nothing to do with you. You're no longer my daughter.
Oh, no.
And he disowned me.
Oh,
and
my God.
That's when I was completely just on my own.
Oh, so sorry.
But my soul needed that. I truly believe my soul called that in. It needed to hit that level of rock bottom for me to no longer live for the approval of my family.
Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Daniela Baumann Show. Today, I have the honor of hosting a very special guest, Sahara Rose. She is one of the most renowned voices in modern spirituality, an Ayurveda expert, best-selling author, and the founder of the Rose Gold Goddesses Collective. Sahara has decided her life to helping women all over the world uncover their authentic truths and live a fulfilled life. In this episode, we'll dive deep into topics that can transform your life from self-discovery to spirituality and holistic wellness. Stay tuned because this conversation will touch your heart and your soul. Hello, my dear Sahara. How are you? I'm so excited that you be here today.
I am so excited to be here, Daniela.
Wow, me
fellow
too.
Feminine queens.
Yes, energy is flowing.
Flowing, trust flow, center, let go.
Wow, how is your life in Dubai? You emigrated
gosh.
2 months ago.
I did. Such an upgrade. You know, I feel the queen frequency here. I feel like that energy of Nefertiti, that Egyptian queen, where it's just channeling royalty and opulence and grace. And I feel that we're so lost from that in our society. You know, we're so forced to be so masculine, to overgive, whether it's in our careers, whether it's to our families, whether it's to our partners, whether it's to life, you know, and I feel in Dubai, it's really stretching my capacity to receive.
Amazing. This is so interesting what you say. My spirituality grow in Dubai. I feel the energy, I feel the frequencies. I think also, or I know that the people here have an amazing mindset. And so many.
It's so interesting because, you know, people think, oh, Dubai, it's just shopping malls and such, but it shows the power of creation, you know, a seed of idea. Like, obviously the sheikh who created here, he had an idea and look at what it's become. And I feel as humans, we all have this void inside of ourselves, this endless void of like, something's missing, right? And so we spend our whole lives trying to eradicate this void. Can it be through partying? Can it be through romantic relationships? Can it be through my kids? Can it be through money? Can it be through something? I think what Dubai is really showing me is like to make friends with that void, because that void is what allows in creativity. It's what allows a desert to become an oasis. It's what allows a seed of inspiration to become a podcast. It's what allows, you know, this little thing you make in your kitchen to become a business. So, you know, for anyone listening right now, and I know a lot of people are like, I just feel like something's missing in my life. It's like, make friends with that. You know, that's the human experience. And how can you take that openness inside of yourself and allow it to become your desires, because your desires are desiring you back.
Yes, you are so right. And also I remember my dream was my biggest dream to live in Dubai. And always the energy, you know, was asking to me, Daniela, take the decision, take the risk, go out from your comfort zone, emigrate to Dubai. And in this moment, I emigrate to Dubai. I feel so peaceful. I feel I'm on the right place. And what you say before, Dubai and also the ruler, the vision, everything, it's incredible. It's incredible. And I'm so thankful for this. And this is also important, the place you live. Of course, the people around you, but the place and the energy you live is so important.
Oh my gosh, we as humans are such sponges. You know, it's like when someone honks, you feel that energy. But it's like when someone's like kind to you, the barista's kind to you, you feel that energy. It's such a domino effect. And when we notice that we're receiving energy all the time, then we can start to become more conscious of what is the energy that I'm giving.
You are so right. My dear, let's dive deeper. You had an incredible journey, dear Sahara. What was the key moment that lead you to focus on spirituality and Ayurveda?
So what brought me to Ayurveda, which is the world's oldest health system, the sister science of yoga, based on the mind-body connection, which we can dive into, were my own health challenges. You know, I don't think any of us get on this path without needing the healing first ourselves. So when I was 21, my body really was shutting down. I had very bad digestive issues, hormonal imbalances. Doctors took my blood tests. I had 0 estrogen and testosterone. Like body had just shut down into perimenopause when I was 21.
Oh my God.
And they were like, you're just going to have to be on hormone replacement for the rest of your life. And, you know, get also on antidepressants while you can, and also take this and take that, and all these prescription medications that intuitively, even then I knew like, I will not go down this path. So I became really obsessed with healing myself. And that brought me to Ayurveda, because for the first time in understanding the archetypes, the mind-body types, I saw not just my body and the bloating, gas, constipation, amenorrhea, feeling cold, like all of the body symptoms, but also the mind, creative, idealistic, things outside the box, big picture. And I'm like, oh my God, for the first time I feel understood. So I became obsessed with learning about Ayurveda. I lived in India for 2 years. I studied Ayurveda, healed my body, regained my period, shifted my mind. Like suddenly I was able to follow through on things I wanted to do. I wasn't so scattered and able to really ground in that energy. And so I wanted to share it with other people. And that's what led to me desiring to write my first book. Now, it wasn't so simple. I got rejected by 30 publishers.
Wow.
And at that time, my parents were saying, you're crazy. Like, you don't have a book deal. How are you going to make money doing this? I'm living in India in a $2 a night hut. So, and my parents come from Iran. So it's like a lot of conditioning around academia and success. And they, you know, left from the revolution and war. So they wanted me to like either get married or get a safe job. And here I am in India, like, you know, they think I'm a crazy hippie. So I had to go.
A beautiful hippie, yeah.
But I had feathers in my hair, girl. I wasn't wearing this outfit.
Yeah.
And so it got really bad with my parents to the point that my dad said, I want nothing to do with you. You're no longer my daughter.
Oh, no.
And he disowned me.
Oh
and
my God.
that's when I was completely just on my own.
Oh, so sorry.
But my soul needed that. I truly believe my soul called that in. It needed to hit that level of rock bottom for me to no longer live for the approval of my family.
Yes,
which we
I
see
totally
it
understand.
all over in so many of the cultures here in Dubai, especially. It's how we're brought up. And so that really began my spiritual journey. You know, hearing those words of like, you're a loser, you're a failure. It was almost like my soul needed to hear that to be like, I'm no longer going to live for anyone but myself. And that was actually my liberation moment.
This was your key point.
Of how I became free.
Yeah. And you know something interesting? I know that we had a podcast today and we speak about Ayurveda, but I don't have any experience. And the last 2 days, I had 2 Ayurveda sessions to feel it, you know. And the first Ayurveda session was with oil. You know, they put a lot of oil on my body.
Yes,
and then the stamps. Oh my God. And this was a totally new experience. And yesterday they do this, oh my God, the oil session with the hot oil.
Oh, Shirodara.
Yeah. Shirodara. Yeah. And this was incredible. And I feel also something is going on here.
In the third eye, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have chakras in our bodies, which are energy centers. So we have 7 chakras in our body, which are each related to something psychosomatically, meaning our mind and our body. So our root chakra, if we start on the bottom of our bodies, it's how grounded we are. Are we connected to our body's earth, the feminine? So when you have a balanced root chakra, someone walks with authority. They have power. They have a sense of self, you know, that color red. Out of balance, it's someone who is kind of floating, like picking up on other people's energy, a bit scattered. Then our sacral chakra is our seed of sensuality, creativity, abundance.
Wow.
So someone that has a balanced sacral chakra is like honey, you know, it's like, think of a singer, right? That very Venusian feeling of she's in her luxury, she's in her essence, she's feeling herself. Then when we're out of balance, we have a hard time feeling pleasure. You know, we're disassociated from our bodies. We have shame around that, which is huge culturally.
Yeah.
Then we have our solar plexus chakra. When it's balanced, we can do, we can follow through. We can take action. We can digest food, but also digest life. And when it's out of balance, we have a hard time doing. We're an ideas person or help other people, but we have a hard time doing things for ourselves. The heart chakra, when it's balanced, we feel love for everyone, not just romantic love. We feel love for every person that we meet. We feel love for the plants. We feel love for the animals. We feel love for ourselves.
Yeah.
And
I think it starts with ourselves.
Absolutely. And
I
it goes
think this
further
is most
and
important.
further. Yes. It's everything.
Wow.
And then when it's out of balance, we have a hard time feeling that. We're grasping for love from other places. We're holding on to relationships that don't serve us because that's the only way we know love. Then the throat chakra, when it's balanced, we can speak our truth. We can set boundaries. We can say that hard thing. And when it's out of balance, we're thinking, how's this person going to receive it?
Yes.
Are
you
they going to
think
like
always
me?
how other people judge you, how they react when you speak out.
So people often tell me, I have a hard time speaking my truth, Sahara. How do you just share your voice to people on stages? And I say, you don't have a hard time speaking your truth because you can say it to your best friend. You can say it to yourself. You're afraid of how that person's going to receive it.
Yes.
And that really is the work, especially for the feminine, because we have been conditioned for generations to be people pleasers.
I know. And we feel this. When I remember my mother, she was always quiet. She never told the truth. And I was sitting like a little kid there and I was thinking, why you don't tell the truth? When something is bad happened to you, she never say something. For her, it was like she liked to make everyone else happy, but at the end, not herself. And in the beginning, I do the same. When I had kids, family, I want to make everyone else happy. I want that my kids are happy, my husband are happy, my friends are happy. But at the end, I had this big hole in myself. And, we have to wake up. Women have to wake up in today's world to speak up when something is not going right. Speak up.
Absolutely. And, if we look at evolutionary science, women historically, we would gather in villages, right? When we were hunter-gatherers. So we would think if everyone in the village likes me, then I'm safe. So we have this evolutionary impulse to make sure everyone around us likes us because we think that that's our safety. However, we no longer live in the tribe. You're not going to get kicked out and starve overnight, but our bodies still react in this way. So if you are a woman feeling this way, I want you to know it is something that we all struggle with, and men are different, men. Oh gosh.
Come on. They doesn't care. Sometimes, of course, they have feelings.
And they get to learn more empathy and we get to learn more assertiveness. And just to finish the two chakras, the third eye, which you mentioned, you felt it in the Ayurvedic treatment, is our house of intuition. Okay. So, there's 4 types of intuition. There's clairaudient, the person who hears things. Like if you're someone that you're like, I feel like I heard something when that she was talking, it said a word, and it's often in your own voice. People think, oh, it must be another voice. No, it's your own voice, but it's like a little whisper. Clairvoyant, you see visions of things if you have a lot of vivid dreams. Clairsentient, you feel things in your body. Claircognizant, you just know. Someone's speaking, you just know something. And if the third eye is out of balance, you don't have these. And then the crown chakra, that's our ability to receive, to be open, to receive what we call downloads, which are streams of inspiration, ideas, creativity coming from the divine. So these are our 7 chakras, and we can really look at which chakra is out of balance and bring about healing with it.
It's so interesting. Coming back to Ayurveda, what I like to ask you, Ayurveda, is an ancient practice over many or thousands of years. How do you make it accessible and relevant for a modern audience? It's something not for what I can say. A lot of people, they don't know what it is exactly until they try it.
Yeah. So I would start with taking a dosha quiz. So I have one on my website. We can link it. So the word dosha means energy or energy type. So there are 3 energy types: Vata, air energy; Pitta, fire energy; and Kapha, earth energy. So if you are a Vata air person, I'll just call it air for ease, you are creative, big picture thinker, fast moving. Like we have a lot of Vata energy, air energy. We're like, blah, 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 blah. So artistic. However, you may struggle with anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, having a lot going on at the same time. So you need more grounding. Then in the body, it's air. So if I have air in my stomach, it's bloating. What's air? It's cold. So I might be cold hands, cold feet, dry hair, dry skin. I may just feel very weak. I may have low hormones. So these are all signs of the air, vata dosha. If I'm pitta, fire, in my mind, a fiery person. They're hot-headed, you know, they are goal-oriented, they get things done, they're ambitious, they're strong, they tend to be very into fitness, they're type A. But then the shadow side is they can get angry, they can be impatient, they can snap, they can be rigid. Then in the body, heat, they tend to get hot easily. Heat rises, so acne, rashes, hives. If you feel like sweaty palms, if you love coffee and spicy foods, if you have like any kind of acidity in your system, heartburn, literally your heart is burning. That is a sign of pitta, fire.
Very interesting.
And then kapha, earth energy. In the mind, if you are calm, patient, easygoing, you get along with people, very connected, that's the kapha dosha. I have a lot of the kapha. So, and we dive so into it. You can tell by the shape of someone's face, the size of their jaw, the size of their wrists. These are all things telling us the dosha.
It's very interesting. The doctors say, the Ayurveda doctor, I have a lot of pitta.
Yes, you have a pitta-shaped face. Yes.
Oh, yes. You can see it on the face.
Pitta faces are like strong jawlines, and pitta is that fire sign. So it's like you get things done. I mean, obviously you're whole fitness, strength, you know, and but you have the vata energy as well. Vata faces tend to be a little bit more long and narrow, and vata people more of that creative. So kapha, I have more of a kapha face, so we tend to have more round faces, baby-like features. Now the shadow side of kapha is if you don't stay moving, you can get stagnant, you can get lazy, you can just be like, okay, whatever, I'll just do it later and not do it. So for me, I need to exercise every single day. If I don't, then I'm just like, I'm so tired.
Lazy.
Exactly. I'm like, let's just cuddle and stay home, you know? And then kapha in the body is mucus, phlegm, gaining weight. If you're someone that gains weight more easily, that's the kapha, water retention. So if you go on my website, we'll link the quiz. There's a quiz that you can take. And I actually am the only quiz that breaks it down in the mind and body, because I've noticed in the Western world, we have a lot of imbalances. So you might resonate with one of the doshas in the mind and another in the body. So it breaks it down.
Oh, interesting. What are 3 simple Ayurveda principles that anyone can incorporate into their daily life to find more balance and also energy? I think energy is a big problem.
Breath work. That is a daily practice for me.
I love it. I fall in love with breathwork, I think, now 6 months.
Love that.
Incredible.
So breathwork, it's called pranayam, tongue scraping, to literally scrape off the mucus on your tongue, which allows you to actually taste your food better, which allows you to digest your food better. Because if we have all this mucus on our tongues, our tongue receptors cannot actually understand what we're eating and cannot create the right digestive environment for us. So getting a tongue scraping every day. And one more I'll add on there is drinking hot water, you know, throughout the day. Eliminate anything iced, ice cream, smoothies with frozen fruit. I know they're good. I love acai bowls. They're horrible for you though, because it freezes the digestive system.
So
you
good
want
to know for our audience.
Yeah, because our digestive, we call it an agni, a fire. So you have this fire inside of you. Now imagine I put ice on this fire, especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
That fire is not going to be strong for the rest of the day. Instead, imagine if I took a little bit of wood and I slowly started to make the embers of that fire grow and grow and grow. Then by noon, which is when the sun is highest in the sky and our digestion is meant to be strongest, we'll have a strong digestion. But if I'm just doing cold drink, juices, then smoothie, then granola bars, then yogurt, we think these are all healthy foods, but we're not looking at the energy of these foods. That's why so many women can't put on muscle, constantly bloated, constantly this whole like skinny fat thing. It's because you're not digesting your food. So just switching to actually have meals and not snack as well is so huge, because we need to give our bodies time to actually digest our foods. But if we're snacking, it takes 4 to 6 hours for our body to break down a meal. So imagine your body is 3 hours in, you ate more food. It's not finished with the digestive experience. And now you're creating more mucus, which is going to show up in your tongue, and the cycle goes on.
Wow, it's just very interesting.
Yeah, my book, Idiot's Guide to Ayurveda, which we can link below, really goes into Ayurvedic daily practices, morning routines, nightly routines, all of that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. And if you're feeling inspired by Sahara wisdom, as I am, make sure to follow this podcast, share it with someone who needs to hear her message today. You found the Rose Gold Goddesses Collective, a community that supports women on their spiritual journey. What inspired you to create this space?
Oh, Daniela, I'm sure you've seen it too, but most of the spirituality out there is created by men for men.
Oh, wow.
Most of the spiritual teachers are men. Mm-hmm. And so they give us practices that work for men. If we've been in a relationship,
this is interesting.
It's totally different. A man wants to be alone in silence, meditate in a cave. Like that is what the masculine desires. The feminine, we want to move. We want to sing. We want to dance. We want to express. We want to be with the food, the people, creation. We want to have fun. We want to feel our hearts. We want to laugh with our friends, cry with our friends. Yes. That is the path of the feminine, Shakti energy. And so on my own journey of, doing all of the practices, Ashtanga yoga and meditation and all of that, I'm like, I still feel like something's missing because when I feel my truest self is when I'm dancing with my friends.
Yes, you're right.
So I really started to dive deep into the path of the feminine. And that's why I created Rose Gold Goddesses, because we are the goddess in human form.
Oh, yes.
We are all of the sides of the goddess. We are Durga, the warrior. We are Lakshmi, the abundant goddess. We are Lalita Sundari, the sensual goddess. We are Isis, the goddess of alchemy, turning your hardest life experiences into gold. We have all of the faces of the goddess inside of ourselves. And as life gives us more and more obstacles, we meet new goddesses within ourselves. I used to be very afraid of Kali. I don't know if you know this goddess, Kali Ma.
No.
She's the goddess of like radical transformation. She has her tongue out and garlands of skulls. And I was like, I don't want Kali. I don't want that. Until
Not too much, a little bit.
Please, no. I was scared until I got divorced. And then Kali came into my world.
Wow.
And rocked my world. And then all of a sudden, I was no longer afraid of my inner shadows. I became friends with my own dark feminine energy, which doesn't mean bad, but it means the part of us that is radical and intense and wild and free. And that actually allowed me to become more and more alive and get out of the good girl programming that we have all been conditioned into.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Can you share a powerful success story maybe from your community that deeply touched you? Or there are so many.
So many, but I would say the biggest theme I notice are women like yourself, myself, who have put other people first, who have done what they were supposed to do, followed the path, and they're still not feeling fulfilled. And eventually reaching this point that they're like, screw it. I'm going to live for myself. And whatever that means for them, whether it is moving to Dubai like it was for me and going on this journey, whether it is just speaking up for yourself more in your relationship, whether it's getting a divorce, starting a new partnership more in alignment with who you are, changing your friend group. I have a school called Highest Self Institute. And the thing that makes me happiest is to see women be able to share their gifts and get paid for it. So many women. We've graduated over 3,000 spiritual life coaches now. So we train spiritual life coaches, embodiment coaches, purpose coaches. So if people are interested, we can link that below as well. But the biggest thing for me was I never thought it was possible to make money doing what I loved. I thought I had to sacrifice myself and do something I don't like to make money. And then the thing I loved could maybe like come on the weekends or in my free time, until I realized that I was born with a dharma, a purpose, that the divine chose me to be this very expression of who I am. And if you're listening to this, you have a purpose too.
Yes, every one of us.
Your highest form of abundance can only come through you living your soul's purpose, because that is what spirit designed you to become. So the greatest thing I see is women be able to get paid for being themselves. I'm like, hallelujah. The world is healing.
It's amazing. If you could back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Ooh.
We go back in time.
I spent so much time around how can I choose something that would make me happy and my family happy? Like, how can I choose like an in-between?
Yes.
And thinking like I owed it to them. You know, my family gave me life. And of course, it's so beautiful, but I don't owe them anything. And I wish that when I set off to India and Bali and these places, I didn't spend so much time being anxious. I wish I was just able to be there rather than being there, but feeling bad about it.
Yes.
Being there, taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Just choosing my own path without apologizing the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Because
interesting.
It was going to happen regardless, but it's that like trying to get people to give you the stamp of approval along the way is still the little girl in us that wants to look up and say, am I doing it right? We got to drop that because we'll spend the rest of our lives looking for someone. Am I doing it right? No one's doing it right. If I've learned one thing, the most toxic word in the English vocabulary is the word should. Should I this? Should I that? Should we this? There's no should. It just is.
Oh,
you know, as long as we are asking, should I should.
Sharing.
It's saying, is there a right or wrong? And am I doing it right or wrong? We don't know. We're all just improvising this entire thing.
Wow.
So when we drop the word should, we just become, and the truth is spirit tells us step by step, we can never figure it out. You know, I sat with plant medicine this year in Peru and it was so life-changing. And the affirmation that kept coming through my head was, trust the path, let it all unfold, just release the control. Trust the path, let it all unfold, just release the control. And every time I find myself grasping, trying to figure it out, well, if I do this, then trust the path, let it all unfold, just release the control. Because we live on this highway that we only have a flashlight that shows us 5 feet ahead. So I'm trying to figure out 20 feet ahead, but I will only get there once I arrive. So what's the point of me stressing out when that hasn't even been created yet? I'm creating that pathway right now based on how willing I am to listen to my truth in this moment. Or am I going to continue to lie to myself based on what I think I'm supposed to do? And when we start to be radically honest with ourselves, every single night, if there's a practice, say, how am I lying to myself even a little bit in that interaction I had? And that thing that I said, how was I being even a little bit not truthful to myself? And when you can take ownership of that every single day, you start to step into a new timeline, a new reality. And then all of a sudden you're meeting the right people at the right time. You're having experiences that take you places your soul could have never imagined. But it comes from every single day, cleaning those cobwebs of your mind, those little lies we tell ourselves of, oh, I'm satisfied here. Oh, it doesn't really matter if they don't listen to me. Oh, I don't really need this. Ladies, please. Let's be honest with ourselves because that is the only way we're able to live the life of our dreams.
And you can feel it, what is good for you. You can feel it when people around you are not good for you. You can feel it when you be in a relationship and you feel like, oh my God, this is not good for me. You know, for me, all my life, I love to have peace. You know, I see how my mother was struggling and my father was aggressive. He was an alcoholic. And the only thing in my life what I want is peace. And when something is not good for me, I go away. You know, peace is the most important thing for me in life. And I think every woman have to take the decision when she feel like something is not peaceful around her. Go away, make your own life. And emigrate to Dubai like you do.
Come be peaceful with us.
Is there, or if you could send one message to women who doubt themselves, what would it be?
There is no difference between you and I and Daniela. We just started a little bit before you. That's it.
I start very late. I'm 58. I start to live my dream after the second toxic relationship in the age of 40. Ladies, it's never too late. You know, some women, they think, okay, with 40, the life is over. The life begins with 40. You know, and also with 50. Every part of your life is beautiful. And one action to our listener can take today to step closer to living their authentic life, what would it be?
I would say embodiment. So embodiment is the practice of actually feeling into your body, feeling your emotion. So I have a method called triple E. So emote, feel whatever you're feeling. If it's anger, best place to scream is your car. Scream into a pillow, whether it's sadness, let yourself cry. Whether you need love, hug yourself. Then embody, move the energy, play a song. And even if you don't feel like dancing, just can you move your shoulders? Can you just let the energy move through you? And how do you want to feel? Can you feel that in your body? So if I want to feel celebration, can I play one song that's celebratory to me and just dance as if the thing already happened? Because I start to tell my body this, and then my mind starts to listen. And then express. Can I write a poem about it, or just write about it in my journal, or just take my voice memo app on my phone, which everyone has, and just talk it out like I'm talking to a friend. Emote, embody, and express. This was the practice I used to heal myself after a very, very big heartbreak after my divorce, and transformed every single cell of my DNA. And I feel this really is the path of the feminine. This is what I teach in my certified embodiment certification at High Self Institute.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Is this also important that you scream when you feel?
Yes.
But, many times we don't say, we put everything in, all the life. We don't say we want to make everyone happy. We put everything in us. But I think it's important that everything is coming out, not in.
Because if you don't let it out, what happens is it starts to all go into this pit in your belly. And that pit gets more and more uncomfortable. You're walking with this discomfort throughout the day, and then you have to disassociate to be able to live with yourself. Then it's harder to feel into your truth, because if you had to feel your truth, you would have to feel all this pain that you haven't felt. So there is a part of the journey at the beginning where it's like, oh, wow, I'm crying tears that I don't even know why I'm crying, but it's like all these tears that you never cried. When you were a kid and you were told, hey, don't cry, be an adult. When you had that breakup and you were just, I'm over it, but you really weren't. There's a period that you just need to feel, right? And to let it all out, to sing, cry, dance, scream, whatever the expression is, but don't stay there. Then move into the embodiment, move into how it is that you want to feel. If you want to feel peace, what is a song that makes you feel peaceful? Can you lie down on your yoga mat, heart open, and feel peace? Can you stretch out your arms, expansion? Can you hug yourself, love? Can you kiss your own hands the way that you wish a lover would?
Wow.
We are desiring to feel things from other people, but really it's an inside job. And the more that I can allow myself to feel this thing, regardless of who's around me, then I'm sending a message to the universe, and it brings people into my path that are a vibrational match.
Wow. What I do every morning, I be grateful. Every morning when I open my eyes, I put my hand to my heart and I be grateful. And I say, oh my God, I'm so thankful for this life. I'm so thankful for my healthy body. I'm so thankful for all the people around me. I'm so thankful for the day-to-day, for all the opportunities who comes in my way. And this gives me such a good feeling for the day. And the same I do in the evening. I'm thankful for the day, for all the opportunities and also all the challenges. Well, only for the challenges you can learn so many things. And this is the part to grow in life. A lot of people, they forget it. They think, okay, when they fail, it's something bad. It's something good, but you can learn from every fail. And something else at the end, my dear Sahara, is there a secret, a piece of wisdom, or a personal experience that you never, ever shared on a podcast before, but feel called to share with us today?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Dive deep.
I'm learning a lot of lessons in my life right now through love. I feel that spirit puts people on your path, and they're always at some degree a reflection of you, but it's also a reflection of what are you willing to allow into your life, you know? And so I'm really learning that discernment of the way that someone shows up with you does not necessarily mean that you manifested this because you are that. Let's say I was like really rude to you. It doesn't mean that you manifested this, but it's what do I choose to continue to allow in my life? If this person is not showing up fully, Do I continue to entertain this relationship? If I can tell this person is being a little bit dishonest, do I choose to continue that? If I can tell this person is not my match in consciousness, do I choose to continue it? That is a reflection of who we are.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm really learning that, especially in like dating and going out into the world, because you see all sorts of people, you know, and then you're like, how did I manifest this? And it's like, well, it doesn't necessarily mean I am all of those things, but it's what do I want to continue with? And I think, I mean, Daniela, my request is a true conscious man on the path. Because I'm like, wow, it's definitely a journey. And I find the feminine, it's easier for us to go on the spiritual journey than it is for the masculine. But I trust the masculine is awakening right now.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much.
That's my little secret, guys.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, my dear Sahara, for all the wisdom. I think, or I hope our audience today learn a lot. And of course, get in contact with you, read your books, or do your courses. You know, every day it's beautiful to learn something new. Thank you so much for coming here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. And if you're listening to this, I also have a quiz to figure out what your type of intuition is as well. So I will link that quiz below. And yeah, so excited and grateful to be here.
Thank you. To all our listeners, if you love this episode, make sure to visit Sahara's website to explore her books and courses. I hope you're feeling empowered to take a charge of your life and live your true essence. Don't forget to hit the follow button, leave a review, and let us know what resonates you most in this episode. Your support helps us reach and inspire even more incredible women around the world. See you in the next episode of the Daniela Baumann Show. Until then, stay bold, stay authentic, and keep going.